Shaquille O'Neal has been making some comments the last year really that have pissed a lot of people off. I ain't gonna lie, from Dwight winning a championship and Shaq just saying, yo, fuck your ring, your shit no matter, you're garbage, to what was that? He made a comment about Dame.
Mm-hmm.
What was the comment about Dame?
Dame and Donovan Mitchell. Well, no, Donovan Mitchell.
And Donovan Mitchell. Yeah.
He said the comment to Donovan Mitchell like right after the game. He was like basically he didn't believe that Donovan Mitchell was basically number one option to win a championship.
Yep.
It was basically just
so yeah,
like he didn't believe he was on that level.
So he had that comment a couple weeks ago. He had the comments. It honestly, the thing that happened yesterday specifically happened a couple weeks ago when on TNT they were just having a conversation about switching on defense. And essentially Candace Parker's son, Shaquille O'Neal, because he just explained why switch defenses are emphasized in today's game. And Shaq essentially just said, his reasoning just didn't make any sense. He essentially said, it worked in the 2000s, why doesn't it work now? And Candace Parker just said, yeah, try going under Dame every pick and roll and he'll drop 50 on you every single game, which he damn near does. And that's all Candace Parker said. And last night, I'm not sure, I haven't seen the full clip, but essentially they were having a conversation about the WNBA, and Shaq suggested for them to lower the rims. Lower the rim to 9 feet. Now, a lot of conversations have come up from that. I was just in a room with Omar about that same topic. And a lot of people are calling Shaq sexist. A lot of people are calling Shaq sexist. Now, it looks like Dom doesn't agree. I personally think he is sexist, I ain't gonna lie. But if Dom wants to start it off...
I'm just saying, if Shaq is sexist because he thinks it'll be more entertaining if they lower the rims in the WNBA, call me sexist too. The product is not entertaining to watch on average. I understand that the WNBA players are skilled. I've talked to a former WNBA player about this. They're skilled. Yes, they're way more skilled than the average man on this planet. Most motherfuckers that play basketball on this planet. They're better than us. Cool. But we're talking about that random night in goddamn December on a Wednesday, if you was to turn on a WNBA game, chances are, if it's not the two teams that's going to play for the title, it might not be that entertaining of a game. It just might not be. At least on a bad NBA night where you have the two worst teams, you still might see something to make you be like, damn, that was impressive. That's not happening in the WNBA. And we're talking about a product on TV. If you're on TV, 9 times out of 10, you have to be some form of entertaining to people. If it's a sport, if you want TV time, you have to entertain people. And if you can see since the damn 90s, no one is tuning into the WNBA. You guys are literally being lifelined by the NBA to stay afloat. No one cares right now. You have to make a change. And this trying to prove that you guys are equal, we get it. You guys are, WNBA players are highly skilled people. We understand that. We're not knocking that. But you can be the most skilled in the world and still be boring. If people were only able to watch the Spurs all day every year, a lot of people tune out of basketball.
You can be the most skilled basketball player in the world and be boring?
You can be more. Yes, Tim Duncan was in Tim Duncan's prime. He was the most skilled motherfucker in the league. We've been in locker rooms where people said he was the best of his time.
Most skilled?
Tim Duncan's more skilled than Kobe. In my opinion. I mean, that's a conversation for another day.
All right.
If you don't believe so, cool. Offensively skilled, I mean, Kobe edges him out, but it's not by much. Defensively, Tim Duncan's more skilled than Kobe defensively. But we're not going there. All I'm saying is Tim Duncan is a player where even you have said with the Spurs, you get tired of seeing them motherfuckers play because they're boring. His entire career wasn't really fun to watch unless you were a diehard fan and you respected watching skill. Casuals didn't like watching.
But I feel like in terms of the WNBA, there are different ways you can go about changing the product you see and making it more interesting than lowering the rim to 9 feet. Someone brought this up in locker room earlier. If hypothetically they lowered the rim to 9 feet, do you legitimately see these WNBA players doing fucking tomahawk dunks like they're LeBron or like windmill dunks? Because I still don't think they're gonna be
More
able
of them will be able to. More of them will be able to though. It's
Why
not,
don't you think they'll be able to be so?
Is that?
Oh, you cutting out.
Oh, okay. Whew.
Oh well, I heard your question, but the reason I don't think they'll be able to is because the product of play, the game that they play, already doesn't rely on athleticism. So why would they? No, I'm just saying it's more skilled.
Damn, Brian.
I'm just saying.
This dude right here.
Listen,
you know what
listen.
I mean?
There are plenty of WNBA players who on 10-foot rims can barely rim graze or get close to dunking. Plenty. If
Like
you
me.
lower the WNBA rim to 9 feet,
so here's the
I'm just
question:
saying.
if they lowered it to 9 feet and they dunked 5 more times a game, are you gonna watch WNBA games?
They dunk more than 5. Actually,
I'm gonna say. I mean,
If they lowered the rim to 9
5
feet,
a game.
9 feet.
how much? Okay, first question: how much would it increase? How many dunks
you
per
probably
game would you
would.
have?
How many dunks do they average now a season? I mean,
A game.
Because it's
Well, it's on a game basis. Let's just say 2.
It's not 2 dunks a game, so come on, that's outlandish.
Okay,
but
okay. So let's say it's 0. Let's say 0.
So like realistically, if the WNBA, if it really comes down to a 0 point, if they dunk 0.4 times a game, right? If they lower the rim to 9 feet with the current WNBA players, and that shit jumps to 2 or 3 a game, that's a significant increase.
You're gonna watch more WNBA games if that happens.
All I'm saying is that would be a frontliner to a lot of girls being able, like a lot of girls getting adjusted playing on a 9-foot rim, and maybe they get more. I'm not gonna say that maybe they get more athletic, but maybe they start attempting to do more athletic shit, and it gets more entertaining. I'm just saying it would be more entertaining. I'm already trying to watch more WNBA now, so to say, oh, if they lower the rim, I'm watching more. I mean, yeah, but I'm already trying to watch more now after the last goddamn finals with what's her name, Breonna Stewart, and the other old white woman that was pretty savage. I forget. I don't know. They all got the same name. I don't know. But anyway, it was very entertaining to watch. And I was like, I got to watch more WNBA. I got to do that as a fan. So I'm going to do it regardless. I just feel like if there was more, Don looks stupid. Suck my, you know what? If there was more entertaining aspects, I just think it would be better for the casual fan. I don't think I'm a casual, well, WNBA, I'm not even a fan. But to the casual fan, you just want a more entertaining product. And I think Lone Rim does that.
If that's not the vibe, but I don't think it's significant enough for them to implement that and have the implications of let's lower the rim to 9 feet because they can't play at the rim men play at. Not significant enough to do that. I ain't gonna lie. If it's worth 2 to 3 more dunks a game, but that is the implication, that's not worth it. No, lower than 9 feet.
I'm not saying, but
I looked up
but
how
no
many
one is
dunks per game.
Go ahead.
I looked up how many dunks per game, and it looks like only been about 20 to 30 dunks in WNBA history. So like a few a year. If this is right. It says this only goes to 2019, but there's 1 in 2019, 1 in 2018, 3 in 2017, 1 in 2016. So there's not a lot. There's very few dunks.
So when you watch an NBA game, is your experience of you having fun watching that game just based off the dunks?
Well, I've never watched the NBA game.
Primarily based off the dunks.
Back in the day, yeah, but the game's changed now.
Okay, then. So, given how the game is now, how does lowering the 9 feet help at all?
Because that adds a dynamic to the WNBA that they just didn't have before. That could make it more entertaining. At the end of the day, we're talking about making it more entertaining, more enjoyable for TV. And if you're saying, oh, lowering the rim, I don't think it does that. So give me an idea that you feel would make the game more entertaining and more suitable for people to watch. What's something they could do?
I'd feel like someone even suggested shortening their shot clock just to increase the pace of the game. Just even like that's one thing a lot of people are bringing up is the fact that if you watch a WNBA game, it's slower.
Do you think
pace
increasing
than
the pace of the game would be enough to make you watch it though?
More significant than just lowering the rim for 2 to 3 more dunks a game, man.
Or what about both?
No, lowering the rim barely does.
But
anything.
what does?
So what's
does
wrong with
speeding up
making
the
it
shot clock
traditional?
though?
How does it make him sexist?
Huh?
How does it make him sexist just for suggesting something that would he
Because
genuinely
if you lower the rim to 9 feet, you're literally saying they can't do what these guys do.
No one
at
is
10
saying
feet.
that.
Well, first thing is
that's gonna be the
evidently they
implication.
can't.
That's
First of all.
going to be the implication.
But they can't. But no, it's not an implication. It's literal fact. Since their league has been around since the '90s, they can't do what men do on a 10-foot rim. They can't do what 13-year-old boys do on 10-foot rims. Like they can't. Like Justin said, it's been 20 dunks in the last 18 years. Like what the fuck? Like that means something. Like okay, if you feel disrespected because in a game that is literally the more popular players are men, the higher paid players are men, and they're doing stuff you can't do, at least try to replicate it or put your own twist or do something. You said, Lord, the shot clock. Okay, a problem with the WNBA game is it can be extremely sloppy. It's slow paced, but it's sloppy. If you speed that shit up, I think they might just jack up their turnovers even more, trying to speed up the pace of play.
Again, specifically with lowering the rim, in what level of basketball have we ever lowered the rim? Middle school, if you play in middle school leagues, they don't lower the rim just because you're fucking 4 feet tall. Like, again, there's other ways you can go about it aside from lowering the rim. That's my... Like, literally, if the WNBA lowered the rim, that would be the only medium of basketball where the rim is lowered to 10 feet. You don't do that for college.
Okay,
you don't do that for any other medium of basketball.
So why is it... But why
only women use smaller basketballs? Why is that?
I also think they should change that too. I don't think they need to have smaller basketballs. Why do they?
But is it sexist for them to be using smaller basketballs?
Yeah.
Is it sexist for women baseball players to wear face guards and have bigger balls to throw? Is that sexist too?
Pause.
How?
Yeah. Yes.
How is it sexist?
It's not.
Bro, y'all are literally playing the same game. It's essentially baseball, except y'all are giving women a handicap because you're saying they can't do what men do.
Women aren't, because biologically they can't. It's literal fact. Just because, listen, yes, there are probably there's probably 10% of women that can literally do what men do. That's fine. But on an average basis, the average professional woman cannot do what an average professional man can do in the same sport. Except combat sports, that's about it. That's the only thing where it's legit equal. Other than that, you can't make it. It is just physically impossible for most sports. And that's why I feel like for basketball, if you lower the rim to 9 feet, you take advantage of the athleticism that women have. They just use it on a 9-foot rim because they can't do it at 10 feet. Hell, Brittany Griner's biggest goddamn draw to her initially was she was a woman that could dunk. She was so tall. This bitch is missing rim grazers. She's literally out here missing rim grazers. Like you can't lower that shit, bro. Like I don't get it. I don't understand what makes it sexist when literally in every other sport, I'm not gonna say there's a handicap, but there's a clear difference between the way women and men play it because there's a clear difference in biology. If WNBA players really feel like they're this disrespected and they really feel like they're that talented, please, and I hope one of you see this, make a YouTube video of you and the most talented women in your league playing against the rookie class next year, and let's see how it goes. Because if it's a close game. Like, it shouldn't be close.
This is right. Again, the thing with the WNBA is I feel like the people that are suggesting these changes to make the WNBA more interesting, it's not really shit that's actually gonna make them watch the game more. Lowering the rim to 9 feet and getting 3 more dunks a game is not on it. To me, isn't gonna make me watch the game more. To me, what's gonna make me watch the game more?
What is?
Okay, I was just gonna get into that. To me, that's better marketing.
One step ahead of you.
To me, that's better marketing. I feel like they're marketing their players wrong. They aren't marketing it right. Like when you, especially like compared to how the NBA does it, and how many names are so recognizable. In the WNBA, there are not enough recognizable names that people can be a fan of and be attached to that get pushed enough. That's
because they don't do enough.
What do you mean?
Because there's not any recognizable names because less people watch it. That's why. It has nothing to do with marketing.
And the goal is to get more people to watch. That's literally the...
I mean, but look at the NBA this year with the G League. The NBA, this is the most they've pushed the G League probably since they first started it, right? And when you go Not even that, but for those who have actually given it a shot and went to watch it, even if you don't know anybody in the G League except for probably a player your team sitting down there, or just a really good guy that the casuals will know or hardcore fans will know, right? But you could watch the G League and genuinely be like, "Oh shit, this nigga is actually nice," and it's like just the shit they're doing is still amazing. Like it's still like I watched some Poku highlights when he's in the G League. This nigga's out there looking like white magic. I'm like, bro, what the heck? It's Poku, but with the WNBA, you can't get that on just an average basis. Like again, it has to be. For what I've noticed, the only time it's been a good WNBA experience for me is when you watch the good teams play. When you watch good teams in WNBA play, yes, you're going to find the best women in the sport. That they have the best type of fucking style. It's amazing. They don't know look past. They do everything amazing. But if you're watching a bad team, you're literally watching it looks like a professional women's JV team. It's unbearable half the time. It's rarely like that for men's basketball, for the NBA and G League. You can put on two average G League teams right now and find way more interesting moments and be more entertained than watching a good and average WNBA team play against each other.
And again, that kind of goes back to my marketing point. I feel like the reason why it is easier to find G League highlights or whatever it is also how the WNBA puts out their marketing scheme. I feel like they need to take advantage of, especially the social media age, to get more fucking highlights out there, to get more people to watch the game. Also, I feel like, specifically last year, who was it? The girl from Oregon, UNESCO or whatever his name, or her name. She was getting enough traction for me at least to be more interested in actually watching the WNBA games, because they were making it seem like she was the next, like the WNBA Steph Curry or some shit. I feel like they have their names right now, but I don't think they have enough young talent in the league that's making people watch the game more. So again, I feel like to me at least, the problem is more marketing these players rather than, oh, they just gotta lower the rim so we can see more dunks. Because I don't think that's gonna have a drastic difference as you think it is. And if the implication, again, of that change is let's lower the rim by 12 inches because we think women can't do what men do at 10 feet.
Because they can't.
And this is the only medium, again, of basketball where we're going to do that, then I would rather them not lower the rim than lower it. That's
I feel like that will mess with their shot.
But literally,
that too, Justin. I feel like if they lower their shots,
full-grown adults, it's too
that's what I'm saying.
difficult to adjust like that. Maybe like younger girls, if they're just starting out, they could get used to it. But
yeah, literally
like 30 years old,
everyone, man or woman, from the day they started playing basketball, if they do, shot at a 10-foot rim. Like that's at least the standard. Obviously, some people teach to shoot at lower rims so you really get better form. But you know what I'm saying? I feel like that would mess up with their shots. I feel like, especially if it's just a WNBA doing it, and let's say in college they don't make that change. Or in high school they don't make that change. It would have to be a whole fucking. It would be a whole fucking change throughout across the board. But
Cardiac said they already shoot 40%. They already shoot bad,
and they're gonna shoot 30.
Or they might shoot 42.
42. 2% gonna make you. 2% is gonna make you watch more WNBA games.
All I'm saying is, if you lower the rim. And we get more. If you lower the rim, and you're telling me on average there are about 3 more plays on the ESPN top 10 of women putting clits to faces dunking on bitches. I'm telling you.
I would at least watch the highlights.
You're telling me they lowered the rim 9 feet, bro. And you're gonna see 3 more top 10 highlights every single day.
He said if.
If they lower the rim to 9 feet, and Brittany Griner goes out there like Shaq disrespecting females, it's a wrap. They're gonna get more eyes on them because people want to see that. People will people go on the internet and watch legit children who can't dunk. They watch them play basketball because they just find something to make this entertaining. They just want to be entertained. And WNBA players, they just don't entertain people. Finally make it more entertaining. At least being sexist to me is like saying, oh, they should just promote that lingerie basketball league more. That's sexist.
Yo,
That's
Wordy said that on Twitter.
Yes,
Wordy you see what Wordy said?
No.
He said I agree with Omar, and then he said, "Yo, this is Wordy. I can't with him."
So
What did Omar say?
That's sexist.
Yeah,
But saying,
Wordy's wild.
Wardu, shame on you. Repent.
But to obviously notice the physical differences between men and women that have been noticed in every other sport, literally baseball, I'm pretty sure hockey, they have probably something that's different than male hockey players.
I don't think they can fight.
I'm sorry, which is sexist. But hey, we don't talk about it. In every other sport, well, other than like track, other than like track and fucking fighting, and even in track and combat sports are the only sports where it's like completely equal between men and women. Every other sport where it's like a game, like niggas can just go out and do.
No, track isn't.
Always
Track's not equal.
Track it's not the same. What do you mean? How?
I'm genuinely curious. How is it not?
Field events are different because they have different weighted objects. Like shot puts are
The
different.
shot puts are definitely weighted. See, even fucking field events and track and field, it's different. The shot put is literally your ability to throw a heavy object. Why are women throwing the lighter object? Because they aren't as strong as men. It's just biology. It's nothing sexist. It's nothing wrong. Like
that's
I don't
high school. I don't know about pros.
Well,
I don't know about pros.
I just don't understand how it's sexist to be realistic and like to say, oh man, lowering the rim because women can't do what men do at 10 feet. They can't. They've shown they can't. After 20 years, they've shown they can't. Hell, the best one at it is doing it at a damn Steve Nash level. This shit is trash. Like, no, they can't do what men do at 10 feet. Literally.
I feel like everything you just said is sexist. Whatever.
Man, if it is, please show me where I'm wrong. If you go, show me how many women are going.
I feel like you just say history sexist when I'm.
Listen. All I'm saying is, somebody link me in the chat right now. How many goddamn double clutch layups women out there doing a season? How much hang time does the average woman have on her layups on a 10-foot rim? Just simple shit like that we see in the NBA that we take for granted at this point. Though you see it like, oh, that's pretty cool, and then move on. Motherfucker, they do that in the WNBA. That is a #1 play of the year for them. Nah, I feel sexist. That after I said that, it felt a little sexist.
Yeah,
that one felt a little sexist.
Look at you.
That one.
All right, if they had some WNBA posters, I probably still wouldn't watch the games, but I would at least.
Oh, I thought you meant
watch the highlights.
Seconds of the highlight.
I thought you meant like a
No.
poster. Like if they had posters,
posters,
maybe, but like not really.
Back on that
hang them up in my room, hang them up in my room a little bit.
No, I'm saying like if there were some 7-foot girls dunking on each other, I would watch the highlights, right?
And that'll leave you watching the game. You gotta get it somehow.
Whenever I see a WNBA highlight show up on my feed, I skip it.
Because you know what it's going to be.
It actually looked pretty cool. I mean, honestly, I don't think I'll ever watch the NBA, and that's just me. Maybe me being stubborn, or maybe I'd just rather watch the NBA.
That's another point as well, Justin. I feel like some fans have to just be real with themselves and say that they're more of a fan of the NBA than actually just watching basketball. I'll admit it right now on stream. I am more of just an NBA fan and a fan of NBA basketball than I am just basketball in general, because I just don't watch college basketball. I don't watch WNBA basketball because I'm more interested in the NBA because of the history that it has and the product that it's putting out. You know what I'm saying? So when you ask a person about what the WNBA can do, when in reality they literally just can't do nothing because they're just gonna watch the NBA, then you're just giving up like false hope, essentially, and just being fake.
I do watch college sometimes though, and I don't know anything about it. It's not like it's not as good as the NBA just because of their skill level, but I feel like something about their mistakes make the game a little more entertaining, because there's a lot more mistakes, and there's a lot of players not knowing what they're doing on the court, which makes it actually a little more entertaining, even though it's bad, I guess, to see them play poorly, but it's still entertaining. But as far as the WNBA goes, they're well trained, disciplined. They don't make the mistakes like college players do.
Yeah, I also feel
they don't really have that element of the entertainment that college does.
I also feel like some people have also not even given the WNBA a shot. to even be tried
That's
to be
true.
entertained, and they just go on here, man, the WNBA trash. Like that type of shit is actually sexist, and I don't know how you can't agree with me on that one. If you're literally
I
just
didn't
gonna
watch the
say
game.
something's trash and never watch it or even attempt to watch it, simply because of the perception that is women and they don't play basketball as good as men, then I don't know what to tell
There's
you.
like compilations of like I guess like reverse highlights of WNBA on YouTube that are just like, I mean, they're funny to watch, but they like just give off like a energy that the WNBA is just a total joke. Which I mean, I'm assuming it's not. I don't really watch it, but I know it's not that bad, you know. But it is fun to watch the videos of them just like sucking or like missing dunks, like 15 turnovers in a row. I mean, they have NBA clips like that too, but there's a lot of both.
Yeah,
Sometimes it's fun to watch people fuck up, just as fun as it is to watch them be good.
this is right here.